Hello, my fellow space adventurers, transformers, and bumblebees. Welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program with me, cwattyeso, where, after a much long time, I've finally got purple crystals being produced here on Policing 1. I remembered why I set this storage building up now, and it was to try and get as many of these things flowing as we can. So purple crystals are going into there. Ultimately what will happen in time is they'll get shipped automatically by the logistic drones back to my planet. Now I want to make sure everything is kind of working. Right, so these are hard at work. Producing all this particle broadband stuff. Which we are most definitely using now by the ton. So what I'm thinking of doing right now, I've got this running over here, I think, with particle broadband. Where does it go? Oh, it does go into there, which is a storage supply facility. 5,000. Let me have a look then. What goes into making this? There's no reason then why I could not be making more. Can I make any boxes? Oh, because I don't have steel. We will have steel somewhere. Wave function has been completed. That's steel. That is steel. Just going to take a bit of this. And produce 5 bottles. I've run out of bricks now, apparently. That's another reason why I can't make stuff. I don't have stuff. Right, we've made some storage boxes, so yeah, basically I want this thing always producing then. I don't want a technically speaking, I probably should have built those on the inside, shouldn't I? The reason I say that is just in case I ever do decide to expand my little particle generators. There. So they will keep producing now, which is fine because we've got all the stuff to produce all of that. That'll give us a nice, handy, helpful little buffer as well. Should I decide to start cranking up some of the other Can I make any of those yet? Fusion power stations. Would be nice. let's have a look then. Plane filter. That is what I believe we needed. And I need to be able to make these things now. Okay, so this is where it all starts getting a lot more complicated. Right, to make that then, we need plastic, water, and crude oil to make the organic crystals. To make these purple crystals, which are then needed to make the plane filter, which I believe is a missing component in one of these buildings over here. Have a look. Plane filter requires titanium glass and stuff. I've got a feeling it was meant to be on that one. Right, anyway, let's go figure out then, where have I got water? We've got water down here. Okie dokie. All of a sudden, the realms and possibilities available to us. So if I want to make organic crystals, they need to be made in a chemical factory. And they require plastic, crude oil, and water. Do any of you have plastic built into you? No, you're getting crude oil. Here would have been great. I guess then, do I need another cheeky little one of these maybe? Because we're going to need to have room for plastic. You have some of them. You have some of them. You have some of those. Give that 90. Into that we are going to put organic crystals. So yeah, organic crystals, then water, plastic, crude oil. which we've got all the stuff and things to make that right here. I'm not leaving a lot of room up between these. So we need to run. Firstly, a belt of plastic coming out of here. Where the grid system starts to work against you a little bit, really. And obviously we're going to need back. So you are going to be making for me organic crystals. You are going to be making for me organic crystals. You need to be making for me organic crystals. You need to be making organic crystals. You need to be making organic crystals. And you need to be making organic crystals. Now, can I get any electric? I can. Right, so we need water, crude oil and plastic, isn't it? Yeah, water, crude oil. Water, crude oil, water, crude oil, water, crude oil, water, crude oil, water, crude oil. Can't actually run around through these buildings. So plastic, 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 plastic. There we go. Excellent stuff. Right. So plane filter is made using... Yeah, I need them crystals then. To make those, we also need graphene. And of course our good friend, Mr. Hydrogen. We also, of course, need to make sure we actually provide some power to this unit and get him all energized up. Right, what I should be able to do now, folks, because we've done purple sciences, we should be able to do some upgrades. So I want Mecha Core level 4. I want my Mecha Core level 4 researching. Right. Now, did I have... Let's have a quick look. Into that building, we've got alloy, titanium, iron and stone. Back there, we know we've got the crude oil and everything. Right. So to make that, we need graphene and we need hydrogen. Purple crystals. There. We're going to remote demand that. We'll remote demand that too. Just set that on local storage. Minimum load of drones 60%. Right, what I might do now, looking at this, I might seriously ramp up this production of organic crystals. I might go get some more power tower pole things. Now I've just picked up a load of crude oil, didn't I? Or plastic? No, it's plastic. It would have been plastic. I picked up. Well, that's no problem because I can just go down here, click on that, find me plastic in the inventory somewhere. Just give him a bunch. Hey, you want some plastic? Gets it out of my inventory, puts it in the machines where it's going to be most beneficial to be used. So yeah, I could get another fair few of these and produce a ton of these organic crystals. Right, next step is to go get the chemical plants, which should be somewhere in the bus here. There they are. Over 20, that should keep us busy for a minute or two. Are they fractionators? I'm going to take 2 stacks of fractionators as well. The reason being, I'm going to go back to Calicio 2 at some point. That's going to require me to do some additional things. Met core energy level 3 has increased. Right, now we've got to be a bit careful here. As you notice, the belts are starting to get further and further away from me as the grid changes. I mean, I should still be okay to reach all of these. Water. Crude oil. Water. Crude oil. Now, gonna need some power. So, power poles to the rescue. Let's sneak them in where we can. That should be everybody happy. That's generating a lot more organic cubes. But man, that's going to take a long while. It's going to take us a long while to fill this thing with organic cubes based on those few machines we've got there. Organic crystals. Right, I've unlocked Mecha Cure level 4. Right. Do a bit of research speed. Gravitational wave refraction. Where is that? Oh, that's down here. We'll get that queued up then. Quantum chips. Not that. And that's fine. We'll just park that there for a second. I'm going to pause the video briefly because I need to run and have my dinner. And I'll pick this up when I come back in a few moments' time. Okay, well, everybody, welcome back. Right, I'm back here on Polysium 3. I've been having a look at my fractionators and trying to get a bit more of this stuff made. I think I've about cracked it now. Just whether this gets saturated. If this gets completely saturated up, then we have a bit of a problem. It bungs the whole thing up. If the hydrogen can't flow, bungs the whole system up. So my priority input is on here. My priority output is obviously down there. And I'm hoping it's only feeding in what it needs to. I've also put a load of fractionators on the, like I say, on the way into the system. So I'm hoping that's going to allow me to output a lot more of this stuff, which we'll be able to keep for a rainy day. slowly filling up the tanks. Which is good. Right. The reason I come back to this planet is because right now we have an issue with plastics. We're not generating enough plastic from this planet, which is going there to our local supply remote storage gap. So what I might do, I'll just upgrade the belt there. Upgrade that belt there. I mean, that is empty, so there's absolutely nothing we can do to get more stuff generated apart from more plastic machines, of course. We could, of course, upgrade the belt, which would zip the plastic down a bit quicker. We could also upgrade that to blue. We just don't quite have enough machines, unfortunately. They're quite slow, these things. 20 every minute, which is really, really ridiculous. You need hundreds of these things to produce enough plastics. We're going to need to have a look at that, where we're going to be able to do plastic production, because plastics require crude oil and energetic graphite. Don't have a lot of chemical plants though, that's the worrying thing now. Mate, what does that produce? Okay. I still need to get that produced as well, that frame material. I'm heading off to Palestium 4. Because I imagine we can do some stuff over on this planet then. I'll set up some more logistic towers. I can import some of that other stuff and we can start producing it. Oil and graphite then, and we'll produce plastic. Okay. Trouble is, I don't have a key. I need it to go back to Palestium 1 really, because I need to load up on chemical factories. I need loads of chemical factories. I've been doing a good setup over on Palestium 1 now to get the organic crystals. I'll try and find where everything is. Back over this way. Right, so I've got energy receivers set up. So this planet is receiving loads of energy from the sun, from our Dyson swarm. our solar sails. Cannons aren't firing at this point in time because we're not aligned. Okay, titanium still being produced. Sails are being produced. Right, our magnets are being produced. Excellent. Now, did I have another tower set up? Did over here somewhere? Right. Local station, so we're supplying the hydrogen doodle flips. Which, by the way, I really still need to get hydrogen used. And then into our actual interplanetary thing. Yeah, we're supplying magnets. Okay, we've got that there then. Right, okay. Just thinking, what do I want to manufacture here? Could do electric motors, which makes green motors, which can then be used to make supermagnetic rings. Of course. Why don't we make a load of them? Because they're used in loads of things. I've also unlocked green crystals now. But that is really difficult to make without the organic green crystals, you see? See, this is where it all gets a bit complicated now. All gets very complicated. Because that requires those things. Which, like I say, requires all that stuff. It also requires those, which of course require crystals and deuteron fuel rods. Oh, hell. This is gonna get terribly complicated, I think. So, another interplanetary logistics station going in. Right, need some drones. Need some ships. Need some drones. Give them a bit of juice. Minimum load 50%. Right, we are going to ship in here then. So to make plastic, we need crude oil. Or refined oil, sorry. People will get terribly annoyed with me for keep calling it crude oil. I should just say oil, and then I'll never ever be wrong, would I? So if I want to make those things, we're going to need deuteron. Just check that. Yeah, we don't have it stored in anything else, so that's fine. Won't demand some of that. Yeah, we've got the graphite stuff, so that can then store plastics, because we're going to ship that straight back out. What about them fuel rods? We're not going to be able to make those without particle rings. And titanium alloy. Let's get some titanium alloy then. Chipping over here. Just trying to work out what I need. You don't have these things being made anywhere. And if I was to bring them in, I would need to manufacture them from green drives first of all. Ooh. And to make green drives I need the red drives and magnets. I'm going to produce them on this planet, I've decided. Which means I'm going to need to enable green drives from somewhere. I mean, that's got 10,000 magnets stored in it. That's got the graphite stored in it. Perfect. That's going to have the crude oil to make the plastics. Where do we want to run? Ideally, then, we want to be running kind of this way. Crude oil. Ah, of course, I need to bring it from over there, don't I? It's going to do a bit of an exclusion zone. I'm going to leave that middle. I'm going to pick off these three. Like so. And then what I'll do is I'll have the plastic. Turning on that belt back into there, out and in. You know what, if these could support, if the developers could make these support 6 items, that would be absolutely perfect, because you could use these interstellar stations to put materials out and receive 2 products back, and that would save you no end of time. I need to get more of that. Right, I can't really do much more at the minute on this planet then until we've got some chemical plants set up. So it's going to be a trip over to Polysium 1. There's my swarm. Somewhere in amongst all those solar sails, we're not generating tons of electricity. Here's my planet. So yes, chemical plants are going to be big. I need to get on those. I have to see what else I can manufacture as well. Need the plane filter and something circuits, something chips. There's another new chip I need to try and manufacture. Tell you what, Polysium 1 shouldn't have any issues at all getting power. Because it's right inside the swarm. Where are we? So, I think I'm in the right spot. I think I've landed perfect. Those are making all of those things. Yeah. We've got remote demand for that stuff here. We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. We might be able to use it somewhere. Right, that is demanding. See, plastics has run out of stuff. Okay, we run out of plastics. Hence why all this has stopped functioning. That's why I need chemical plants now, because we're going to need to absolutely nail it on lithium 4. Chemical plants are in here somewhere. There should be a box for them. Some of the hitboxes are a little bit annoying as well on this. I'm going to take 60. Don't know if I'm going to need more. You know what? I'll just take all of them. This will produce more as we go along. I'm still trying to use up all this hydrogen that I picked up, changing my smelting facilities. Right, there's still some items missing off of here that I haven't yet researched. That should now produce Mark III assemblers. Should, but we don't have them blue chips, so that's what I've got to look at making now. We need to make these things, and we need to make this stuff, which of course requires this stuff. And the crystals are the biggest fucking ball ache. Them bloody crystal things. So plastic is going to be absolutely key on this planet. Making plastic somewhere is going to be key. I'm tempted to just throw down. Again, this is crazy. Just keep throwing down legit and doing some plastic on this planet. As well as over on, back on. Because what's the point in shipping? It's going to take ages to ship it all the way from that planet, isn't it? You see, that's got, that tower there's got plastic in. Just wondering how we do this. Just wondering how we do this. Why is that not making anything? Because we don't have green crystals? Which require high purity silicone. Holy moly. I have an idea. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a cunning plan. I have a cunning plan, he says. Again, I'm so relieved I've got all these things. Needs power. So we'll stick a little hole right on the corner there. Right, we are going to go into this thing. Like so. I think I'm just going to remove that because that's kind of in the way. Right, what we're going to order here then? Did I say that had graphite? No. Right, need some drones. Only got 21 left. Ships, we're getting a bit low on ships. Might have to go and rob some more soon. Right, so we've got particle broadband coming. We're going to be supplying that. We want some high purity silicone. We want local supply of that. Because we're going to basically make some of these crystal things. Okay. It should go into that machine there then. All being well. So, for this machine, wait, I want this stuff coming out. I'm just going to run this all the way down to about here. Right. What are they made in, out of curiosity? They are made in smelters. Can I make Mark III smelters yet? No, because we don't have those circuits. We'll soon have the ability to make Mark III smelters, everybody. And once we have Mark III smelters, oh my days, is it going to be good fun. Green doodahs. Again, smelters, leave a gap. Smelters, leave a gap. We'll produce all the green crystals. I don't even care if these machines consume all the smelters, all the stuff, so that we can't actually... I'm just going to bring that back. It's about there. Run a belt, obviously, all the way down here. Some doing finishes, falling over all the rocks. Right. This should be fairly straightforward now, he says. Like I say, ideally what you'd want to do is you'd want to make sure somewhere in your little interstellar logistics setup you had every single item that you can manufacture going into the logistics. Okay? You would pretty much want to make sure of that. Like I say, we have got saturation all the way down the belt. That is now loading up with crystals. Which we will be able to ship off to another part of the world where we can make use of those. Remember to fix this now, don't I? That needs to be particle broadband, which obviously needs to go onto there. Excellent. And then we've got something else we can ship back. That was going to be plastics, wasn't it? Are we going to do that? Are we going to do that, kids? I don't remember, which way am I going? I'm walking in this direction. We are getting towards the North Pole. If I walk in that direction, we are heading towards the South Pole. Tricky one, kids. Tricky one. I need to obviously be able to do this somewhere where we've got plenty of room to run. We don't really have a lot of room to run there because we've run out of tile, so I can't fill all that lava in. I went that way with the coal and crude oil to make the plastics. Right, and I kept the buildings down here. That's doable. That would be doable. Let's try it, folks. Right. So out of that one, first of all, we want the that's quite a long belt. I think everyone would agree that is a very long belt. Whether we can get all of the stuff down here, that's the question, isn't it? And I've definitely got this right. This is definitely the recipe. Crude oil, plastic equals crude oil, refined oil, energetic graphite makes plastic. Okay. We're on the case now then. Hot on the case, as they say. Right, have I got any more receivers? I have. You know what? I really ought to get in the habit of placing these things down, you know. Otherwise, we're not going to be using all this lovely energy that we've got in our swarm. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run pylons. add up with that network. They should all... So they should be receiving tons of power. Continuously receiving. Yeah. Because look, we're surrounded by the swarm, everybody. Or we will be. Once we rotate into it. And these things will just be absolutely getting jacked. I mean, look at that. 181 megawatts. We have got generation capacity. 181 megawatts. Around these planets that we just are so far not tapping into. Right, next step then is for me to get my chemical plants. Oh, I haven't set the recipe on them. Plastic. 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 Right, shift copy. There's so much power. Let me start. Oh, I'm about to run out of battery juice. So again, just use all the hydrogen. You're wondering what that little symbol there is? That's the new space warper that I unlocked with my technology research. But obviously, we've not made or produced any space warpers yet, because that requires stuff that I'm not going to have access to for a very long time. Particularly green cubes, folks. Kind of lacking green cubes. We will be lacking in green cubes. Once we got warpers, we'll be able to fly off to other systems and explore other planets, which will be fan-dabby-dozy, won't it? But I've just noticed this video is now over an hour long, so I should continue to set all this plastic stuff up and have you guys come back and join me in the next video when hopefully it will all be done. We'll have solved some of the production shortfalls that we have, and yeah, hopefully we'll be in a better position to be making better things. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching today's Dyson Sphere video. I'll see you all again very soon. Goodbye for now.